Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Weekly Roundup. We are not in my boring office. We are at on the shores of the Rock River here at Riverside Park, and we're here because of these cool things standing behind me, and I'll touch on that later. But let's start with what we normally do, and that is streets. So for construction season, things are going along very smoothly, knock on wood. Oconomowoc Avenue continues to do the water main installation and connection work. On 11th and 12th Street, we are prepping pouring of curb and gutter, so that work is coming along nicely. And then today we should be, well, not we, the contractor for the state should be finishing up the guardrail project on Welsh Road. And this project in particular is one that is really close to my heart and the heart of many people in this community. Just making that particular overpass safer is really, really important. And we experienced fatalities at that overpass in particular, and just really grateful that we're in a position to get awarded a grant to make that overpass just a little bit safer for our residents and visitors. So that work should finish up today, and that's just a culmination of honestly a couple of years. We applied for the grant, and then I didn't know this, but I'm sure others did. You can't just put in a guardrail. You have to design the guardrail with engineers and architects and all those very intelligent people. So that happened last year. This year, it finally went in. So just really grateful for that. Next week, at some of our city meetings, we have updates on development. So we will be having a public hearing for the Allward Street project. So this is the project over by Watertown Regional Medical Center. It's the land that the school district owns. There's a couple of public hearings about rezoning. So if that's of interest to you, I'd encourage you to attend or come and comment or submit your comments in advance. And then we'll also have a public hearing for Belinsky. So that's on the west side of the community. Belinsky is developed in the community for many decades. They're adding a new phase. They have what's called a general development plan, and they'd like to modify that plan, and that's what the public hearing is for. So they're seeking to modify the plan to incorporate smaller lot single-family homes, which I think is a really great idea. So if that's of interest to you, again, come to the public hearing, submit your comments in advance, whatever works best for you. We will have 2 housing-related public hearings next week. In the last couple of weeks, we've also had a couple of conversations about potential residential projects on the outside of our city limits that want to get annexed in. And you know, I've been around for 11 years. We haven't had those types of conversations in the past, and I'm just really grateful that we're in a position as a city where we're prepared and ready to have really good strategic conversations about our ability to meet the housing demand and the potentiality of having additional land inside the city limits for that as well. So more will come. Plan Commission is going to be the next spot for both of those projects, so just keep an eye for that. On the project front, we're here in Riverside Park. The Riverside Park bathroom project is going well, and the Riverside Park footbridges and rock walls are nearly complete, if not complete. I believe we're just waiting for some concrete to cure, and then we should be good to go on that one. And then at the fire department site, I was there earlier this week, and the walls are up. The masons were there this week, and the plumbers doing rough ends. But you can actually begin to see the walls of an apparatus bay, the garages where the apparatus will go in and out. So just exciting progress there. We did select some of our exterior materials, so we should be posting that on social media soon. That'll give you a good idea of what the exterior brick and colors will be. We are already in the budget. We have been for probably at least a month or so, and it's only July. But I did want to make mention, because the Daily Times did cover it, that we presented the 5-year capital plan to our finance committee this week. That 5-year capital plan was presented a couple $1 million over what it normally is, and that's a fairly normal thing. The city typically borrows $2.5 to $3.5 million, somewhere in that range. And obviously, as things get more and more expensive, we are not immune to that, so that range will potentially have to increase over time. But I just want to provide assurance that will go down. You know, we aren't proposing, I didn't hear anyone in the room saying that that's the level we should fund at. So there will be many iterations of that capital budget. And for reference, the capital budget is anything that's over $20,000. It really is just the things that we end up borrowing for. So we typically borrow for about 8 years. Some projects are legacy projects, and those are longer borrowing periods. But so we try to kind of have a benchmark for what we purchase with those funds. We also approved our goals, our budget goals for 2025 at our leadership team. Those will go to the finance committee at their second meeting this month, which I think is on the 23rd. So if you're interested in the budget, I'd say pay attention to the Finance Committee meeting on July 23rd. On the rec side, we're registering for fall. It seems ridiculous, but it makes sense. And I'm really glad that we're doing it this early in the year so parents and caregivers have a little bit more time. But fall is right around the corner. And so we're registering for fall soccer and then fall adult softball. We are still offering discount tickets, so that there's some of those still available. And then the one that always kind of sells out right away or fills up right away is swimming lessons. And so swimming lessons for fall open on Monday. And I remember I used to set my alarm for like 6 in the morning so I could register right away and get the class I needed. But you can't register without being on Rec Desk. So if you don't have a Rec Desk account, you need to call the Park and Rec today by 4 o'clock if you really are anxious to get registered early in the morning. If not, you can always give a call once we open on Monday and get the info you need to get registered. I wanted to highlight a new class that's being offered. We've been partnering with some new life enrichment instructors, and the new class that we're putting out is stroller fitness. So this is walking, squatting, lunging, jumping your way into better health with your stroller. So bring your stroller, the child that you normally carry in it, and meet at the Interurban Trailhead for a new fitness class. There's a bunch more information on the Park and Rec Facebook page. The elections are right around the corner. So the first election that we'll have coming up here is August 13th. So that is an election that is for mainly primaries. And then there's also some county races, and then there's congressional races and things you can write in people for. But looking at the ballots, which I would encourage you to do, it's mainly primaries and some county races. You can do a couple of things to find out about what's on your ballot. You can go to myvote.wisconsin or myvote. I think it's My Vote. Just Google My Vote Wisconsin. I'm sure it'll get you there. Or I'm sure we have it linked on our website. Or just go to our website, and there's a nice link for sample ballots. So please familiarize yourself with what is on your ballot on August 13th. And then 2 dates coming up. So July 24th is the last day to register online or by mail for this partisan primary election. So July 24th is the last day to register online or by mail. And then July 30th is the first day of in-person absentee voting. So if August 13th at the polls is not going to work for you and you want to still do in-person absentee voting, that begins July 30th. Next week we have a mayor meetup. So the mayor meetup is on the 16th at 10:30. I believe I'm at Latte Donate downtown. So just an opportunity for you to come, engage, ask me your questions. I'll do my best to answer them. As a reminder, I do these at various points of time throughout the day. I've done them in the morning, I've done them in middle afternoon, we've done them in the evening, we've done them on Saturdays. So if this one doesn't work for you, we try to do one a month and we try to change the time and location. Next week before the weekly roundup, we have some events happening, so I wanted to mention those. So at the airport, next week is an event called Wow Pop. It's Wings Over Watertown pre-EAA Oshkosh party, or something very close to that. But what the point is there are community events on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at our airport here in Watertown that are open to the public. On Thursday night, they will be showing a movie projected onto one of the hangars. On Friday, there is a 18-piece swing band and a dance and food and drinks. And then Saturday morning is their very famous pancake breakfast. So everything is open to the public. If you'd like to join in on any of that fun, we'd encourage you to head out to the airport. Next Monday is Food Truck Monday at the Square. It's from 4 to 7. It will be 2 vendors, Pizza Ranch, a local business, and then 18 Acres, which is a food truck that does like sandwiches and mac and cheese. It all looked very tasty. So Food Truck Mondays, 4 to 7 at the Square. For us on the city side, we are hiring for a few full-time and part-time positions. We are hiring a public health nurse. We still really need dispatchers. If you are of interest at all, please just reach out and let us talk to you or show you what a day in the life of a dispatcher is. And then we're also hiring for an assistant operations manager at our street division. We're hiring for a water foreman and a water distribution technician. So some really nice public works positions available. And then on the part-time side, we are hiring for a media and communications assistant and a library assistant. I know it's supposed to be hot, and I kind of led with what's standing right behind me. So I know it's supposed to be hot this weekend. And so we wanted to take an opportunity to highlight what you can do in the community to still engage in the community, but stay a little cool. So Right behind me are kayak rentals. There are both single and tandem kayaks. They are, I think the single starts at $12 an hour for your first hour, and then the price reduces, and I think the tandem is $17 an hour, and then the price reduces thereafter. You come, scan a QR code, download an app, it'll give you a code. That code opens up this case behind me, and you get a paddle, life jackets, and a kayak. So if kayaking isn't your jam, I do want to make note that the Watertown Aquatic Center is open this weekend from 12 to 6, obviously weather permitting, both days. So 2 good opportunities to stay cool and kind of beat this heat we'll have this weekend. So 2 other items to mention. Tomorrow is the craft beer walk downtown, so please just be mindful. There are a couple hundred extra people walking throughout the downtown tomorrow. And then tomorrow night at the square, and I'm so jealous I can't be there, but tomorrow night at the square are the steel drums. So we will have the steel drum entertainment beginning at 7 at the square. And then the food vendors are awesome too. There's a crepe vendor, Taqueria Maria's, and then Big Daddy Dogs. So something for everybody to enjoy at the square. So that's all that I have. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.